Review 157, Love Never Dies. Some of you may recall the worldwide sensation of The Phantom of the Opera, a musical very thoroughly reviewed. We are told, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the direct sequel which follows that famous play. Perhaps we can celebrate the ghost of so many years ago with a little rumination. Gentlemen, yep, like every intellectual property as popular as this, it was only a matter of time before someone thought of doing a sequel to The Phantom of the Opera. Luckily for us, we've still got Andrew Lloyd Webber at the musical helm, which is a definite point in its favor. We open on... the Phantom playing a brass section with his organ? Wow, he is a genius. While the opening credits roll, we're treated to music that's obviously different, but still very much in the same feeling of the original. Maybe it seems like that should be a given, but when you have the same composer working on a continuation of something as wildly popular as Phantom of the Opera, it'd be all too easy to simply recycle the music that was used already. I mean, I love Spider-Man 2, but am I the only one who was irked by how much of the soundtrack from Spider-Man 1 was used? Anyway, this all takes place 10 years after the Phantom escapes the destruction of the Opera Populaire, where we see him perfecting his new masterpiece, still pining away for Christine to be his muse. Come on, man. Can't you find some other hobby? Maybe stamp collecting? Since his home at the opera has been destroyed, Madame Giry and her daughter Meg have smuggled him away to Coney Island, where he can blend in with a local freak show. Yet this is still more normal than Andalusia from Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart. What in God's holy name is that supposed to be? A head with starfish arms coming out of it? How was this thing not smothered as soon as it was born? So yeah, this is all kinds of what the f***. Can't decide between a Broadway musical or Cirque du Soleil? Why not both?
Dialect from Paris, France.
It's Coney Island's ooh la la, girl!
Miss Meg Giry!
Little Meg here is trying to become a star in her own right, now that she's left the ballet, and she figures the best way of doing that is to wear a skin Skeksis on her head. Again, still not as weird as Andalusia. And why are all of these dancers dressed like Phyllis Diller? I demand an answer!
Mother, did you see? Was it all right? Mother, was he watching? Was he keeping out of sight? Mother? Mother, what's wrong?
A surprise announcement from Mr. Oscar Hammerstein.
Madame Giry sounds vaguely German, and Meg sounds kinda sorta transatlantic. Why do neither of them sound French? It would appear that Christine Daae, who kept her maiden name despite being married to her childhood sweetheart Raoul, I guess we know who wears the pants in that relationship, is on her way to New York to sing at the Met.
In Paris, when the mob surrounded him, who was there? We were there. Where was she? When the lawman hounded him, gone, long gone, we stayed on. And who stayed with him, helped him and advised him? We stayed with him, loved and idolized him. She chose Raoul, chose to make a new start, chose beauty and youth over genius and art.
Well, that and, you know, the Phantom was still kind of homicidal. So she makes port with her hubby and 10-year-old son to all the acclaim befitting someone of her stature.
Look! There she is!
Oh, hi, Kate Winslet. It would also appear that Raoul is currently knee-deep in gambling debts.
My wife is an artist. Oh yeah, and her art is paying off your gambling debts, is what they're saying in France. Is it true you left your entire fortune on a roulette table in Monte Carlo?
So she has the choice of being with the homicidal bad boy or the boring nice guy with gambling problems. A girl just can't win, can she? They get picked up by a carriage, which I can only assume is being drawn by Thestrals, and they go off to a hotel where they think they're going to be welcomed by Hammerstein, Christine's new producer. Because of all the people under his employ, of course he would send out a group of clowns to show for his newest talent.
Mysteries and melodies play inside my mind. Fairy tales and fantasies silently unwind.
Apparently, Raoul has no patience for Gustav's singing. I guess his love for music died once he married Christine?
Ask no questions, have no fear. Anything can happen here.
If anything can happen, that sounds like they should have ample reason to fear.
What a dreadful town, what a vulgar place, what an awful mistake to have come here, to be on display in that shameless way, for the crude, common, lower-class scum here. How could he dare to treat us so?
Father dear, come play with me.
Honey, Daddy's busy complaining about being rich and impressive to the poor.
I've got a mind to pack and go. Never you mind the debts we owe.
Wow, way to be supportive of your wife's career prospects, asshole!
Let's leave tonight, dear, if that would serve to ease your troubled mind.
Sure, we just spent the last 2 weeks getting across the Atlantic Ocean, but that's fine, we can just hop the pond again willy-nilly. Raoul leaves his family to meet with Hammerstein at the bar, and Christine comforts her little Gustav, who just isn't feeling the love.
Father never plays with me. Doesn't he love me? Oh, darling, love's a curious thing. It often comes disguised.
Love can be disguised as... what? Blatant contempt?
Look at love the wrong way. It goes unrecognized.
That creepy guy who's been stalking you and watching you sleep at night without your consent? That's love right there. Ah, such a nice, tender moment between a mother and her child. Oh my god, it's Dan Dan's revenge! Wind-up toys don't just do that! And when did it come to life just as they were hugging?
That's it.
With her son properly comforted, she sends him to bed and... I guess he decided after all this time that subtlety is for chumps.
Once there was a night beneath a moonless sky, too dark to see a thing, too dark to even try.
Of course, new songs are going to be written for the sequel, but it's good to hear tunes from the original play being adapted into songs with lyrics. It kind of makes it sound like the play is coming full circle.
And I loved you, and I left you, and I had to both of us knew why.
And yet I won't regret from now until I die.
And I touched you, and I groped you, and you never told me to stop. And I just kept on feeling for fears I had to cop.
Beneath the moonless sky. And now,
How can you talk of now? For us, there is no now.
Oh. So we're back to then beneath the moonless sky? That's okay. Works for me.
Once upon another time, our story had only begun.
By the way, what New York hotel is this? It looks like it was designed by Aquaman. And exactly what night of passion are they even singing about? I don't remember them ever getting it on. Or are they just talking about this?
Let your soul take you where you long to be.
Also, why is Christine even singing with the Phantom in the first place? The Phantom comes back to her to once again announce his undying love, so shouldn't she be talking right now? It's mostly her voice that he's in love with, right? Isn't all this singing just egging him on? I implore you, won't you sing once again for me? No! The Phantom proposes that Christine sing for him one final time in his carnival sideshow, offering to outbid Hammerstein if necessary. Gustav is awakened by the commotion and meets the Phantom, whom he assumes must be some kind of magician. As a means of wheedling his way further into Christine's life, he offers to take the boy on a personal tour of Coney Island.
tell me where you'd like to go. Tell me what you want to see. Madam, please, I insist.
Could you show me, if you please, all phantasmas, mysteries, all that's strange and wild and dark in the shadows of the park?
You shall see it all tomorrow. In fact, I myself will show you. I promise.
First, I will show you this dark, dark room where you have to be really quiet and not tell anyone a thing about what happens inside. It'll be our little secret, okay?
What a child. Full of life. Full of you, my Christine. Help me through this sadness, do this kindness for your mentor or your progeny. That perfect specimen may disappear on Coney Island, vanish here on Coney Island. Ah, Christine.
What are you saying? How could you? After all that we've been, who are you?
I am your angel of music! I am dying, Christine! Suffocating here in the dark! Give me breath! Give me life! Sing for me! Or I will take from you everything you have ever loved!
No, you can't.
Oh, but I can! A man as hideous as this, believe me, is capable of anything.
Well, technically you're only half hideous. Does that mean you're only capable of half the things? The following day, Christine and her family go to the carnival to rehearse her new act.
Heaven help me, could it be? No, it couldn't possibly. Sorry, do I? Yes, I think you do. Have we? Go on, take a guess. Wait, it can't be, is it? Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe it's you. Look at you, Christine, regal as a queen and beautiful. Meg and you as well. I could hardly tell it's you.
You could barely tell that it was me because I'm beautiful? Wow, nice to see you too, bitch!
My dear old friend, can't believe you're here, old friend. After all this time, Christine, you came. You look sublime. You look the same.
Actually, nobody here is happy to see anyone. Christine and Raoul are angry at the Giris for harboring the Phantom to safety, Meg is angry at Christine for stealing her limelight, and Madame Giry is angry at Raoul for being a third wheel.
With two old friends, trustable and true old friends, let us raise a glass
To times gone by,
To Mr. Y.
to happy ends.
to such sincere and very dear old friends. Old friends.
They then proceeded to poison each other's coffee, and everyone died. The end. The Phantom leads Gustave away from his family, and then tries to lure him into the strange world of the carnival sideshow.
Ever yearn to go past the world you think you know? Been enthralled to the call of the beauty underneath? Have you felt your senses surge and surrendered to the urge and been hooked as you looked at the beauty underneath?
Of course, they can't just do a note-for-note rehash of the song Phantom of the Opera, where the Phantom tries to seduce Christine into his world of music, but what they have in its place is 31 Flavors of Awesome.
It's all so beautiful.
Can it be?
Almost too beautiful.
Do you see what I see? To him it's beautiful. My world is beautiful.
How can this be what it seems?
You can feel it.
Yes.
Come closer.
Yes.
You've no fear of the beauty underneath. You'll accept it.
Yes.
You'll embrace it.
Yes.
Let me show you the beauty underneath. To the splendor and the glory. To the truth of the beauty underneath. You'll accept it.
Yes.
You'll embrace it.
Yes.
Let me show you the beauty underneath.
The Phantom is trying to seduce Gustave into his own little private world of freaks, and yet his face is still that terrifying? Ouch. And just like in the 25th anniversary show, the removal of his mask is shot so that we, the TV movie theater audience, can't see his face. Nice touch.
Listen, darling. I want you to go with Miss Giry back to the hotel. All right? I have to talk to Mr. Y alone.
And after I speak to Mr. Y, I have an appointment with my physician, Dr. Who. Christine tells the Phantom that, so MG, Gustave is actually his son.
You left me with a son.
Well, to be perfectly fair, the guy did have an angry mob chasing after him. There's not exactly a whole lot of room to be Father of the Year under those circumstances. She says that she'll sing his work one last time, which somehow turns the Phantom into Christopher Lloyd?
Great Scott, Marty.
For Christine, my Christine. If it's true, he's my reason to live. Ah, Christine, then our son shall have all I can give. Ah, Christine, all I create on this earth, all that I'll never be worth, all shall be his.
Meanwhile, all that the Phantom wants to give him is dying of asphyxiation in those little pyramid pillar things. Madame Giry overhears how the Phantom will give everything to Gustave, which she doesn't take too well.
10 long years and he casts us aside. 10 whole years, this is how we're repaid. 10 dark years of toil and tears, and now what we've worked for will go to that child. All our hopes were at last in our grasp. all the dreams and the plans that we laid. Everything is vanishing, and we get discarded, rejected, reviled.
Lady, aren't you the ballet director of the Paris Opera? Surely you can find work at the brand new opera house that they just finished building.
All of the bonds in between us now torn. All of the love that we gave him forsworn. All would be ours if that bastard had never been born!
Wow, way to talk about someone who you would consider to be your own grandson.
Christine Daae. I think of her as a daughter also.
I just noticed something. Where's the applause? The music rises to a crescendo. We have this really big character twist where this woman who's cared for the Phantom his whole life sounds like she's gonna turn on him, and nothing. Were they playing to an empty house or something? And we come back from intermission, only to find Raoul still at the theater's concession stand. Hey, buddy, the play started again. You're supposed to be on stage!
One more.
Ah, buddy, don't you think you had enough? It's practically morning already.
One more, I said.
I'm sorry, but Raoul was never like this in Phantom. No drinking, no gambling. Did he just get into this decline because of his marriage? Christine must be a horrible wife. He laments, through song of course, about his inadequacies as a husband. As well he should.
She yearns for high things, things I can't give her.
And if you were some poor beggar admiring her from afar, that might actually mean something. Why can't you give her what she wants and needs? Because you gambled away all your money, you idiot! Seriously, what was the point in making Raoul this drunken, abusive jerk? In the original story, it was all about Christine struggling with the choice of what she knows is right versus what's just freaking hot. That's all the conflict that there needed to be. You don't need this to happen to Raoul to make the Phantom look like the better choice. And this has been bugging me too. Why are the little microphones dangling from their foreheads? Or are they supposed to be tikas? Are these Hindu French people?
I'm afraid her music has always been somewhat of a mystery to me.
She grew up in an opera house! Where's the mystery? But then the Phantom gets the drop on Raoul and makes a little wager with him. If Christine sings for him, Raoul will go back to Paris and never return. If she goes away with Raoul, the Phantom will disappear forever and even pay off Raoul's gambling debts. Even with his wife on the line, he just can't walk away from a bet. I am going to play into your gambling addiction like nothing else. Ha! Play all you want. I can quit any time. Later that night...
Bathing beauty on the beach. Checks!
What a cutie, what a peach.
Stripes!
Meg Giry, veteran ballet dancer of the Paris Opera, now doing a striptease in some sideshow on Coney Island. She's probably not going to put this on her resume. Raoul, meanwhile, tries everything he can to get Christine to walk away from her singing.
You need the man you knew back here beside you.
Yes, and once she sings again, she'll get that man beside her. Sadly for Raoul, the Phantom taught Christine better than to walk away from a performance, and she sings his final work.
Love never dies. Love never alters. Hearts may get broken. Love endures. Hearts may get broken.
She's really belting it out now that Raoul left, huh? Love never dies, but it sure feels good to get rid of that ball and chain. After her performance, The Phantom congratulates her on a job well done.
And it felt beautiful, and I felt beautiful,
Lost in the music once more, feeling it rise up and soar, alive once again.
In case you forgot, the only time we've seen Christine actually kiss the Phantom was when he was trying to kill Raoul, which made it little more than a pity kiss. So yeah, actually seeing Christine throw herself at the Phantom like this? Good job, buddy. Christine finds a note that Raoul left explaining how he's walking out of her life. Hey Phantom, I found your little mirror room. It's awesome. I know, right? Christine then realizes that she has no idea where Gustav is, and she and the Phantom look all over the island for him. They eventually find that Meg has him, and she's about to throw him off a dock.
Always wondered how to make you watch, well, watch me now.
Wow. You have to kill little kids just to get your audience to watch you? That is pathetic. Note to self, see what killing little kids does to your view count. The Phantom tries to talk her down, and he seems to have things pretty well in hand. After all, he's well-spoken, charismatic, Meg's already hot for him, so naturally he knows how to get her to stop.
You feel ugly, you feel used, you feel broken, you feel bruised. Ah, but me, I can see all the beauty underneath.
Yes.
You've been robbed of love and pride, been ignored and cast aside. Even so, I still know there is beauty underneath.
Yes.
Diamonds never sparkle bright if they aren't set just right. Beauty sometimes goes unseen. We can't all be like Christine.
And that was the wrong thing to say, bucko. Might as well just told her to calm down. So yeah, Christine gets shot, and her final wish is that the Phantom take care of their child. And finally, Gustav accepts the Phantom in spite of his ugliness, and he truly sees the beauty underneath. Thus the play comes to an end as the cast takes their bows, and acknowledges the audience that just materialized out of nowhere, I guess. So that was Love Never Dies, and my love for this musical certainly will not. Granted, it has its flaws, most of which stem from how Raoul is made into a giant douchebag to make the Phantom look like a better character, when that was never a dynamic of the original story. Raoul was the guy that Christine knew she was supposed to want, but damn it, the Phantom was just too freaking hot! Otherwise, the actors are all great, the singing is top-notch, the visuals appeal to my inner Burtonite, the Phantom being transported from Paris to Coney Island was an interesting juxtaposition, and of course the music is phenomenal. As a big fan of musicals, and Phantom of the Opera in particular, I recommend you check this out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to the playground. I've got some numbers to boost. See you later!
Ever yearned to go past the world you think you know? Been enthralled to the call of the beauty underneath? Have you let it draw you in past the place where dreams begin? Felt the full breathless pull of the beauty underneath? When the dark unfolds its wings, do you sense the strangest things? Things no one would ever guess, things mere words cannot express.
Yes.
Do you find yourself beguiled by the dangerous and wild? Do you feed on the need for the beauty underneath? Have you felt your senses surge and surrendered to the urge, and been hooked as you looked at the beauty underneath?
It's all so beautiful.
Can it be?
Almost too
see. To him it's beautiful. My world is beautiful.
How can this be what it seems?
All of my most secret dreams somehow set free. You can feel it.
Yes.
Come closer.
Yes.
You've no fear of the beauty underneath. You can face it.
Yes.
You can take it.
Yes.
You see through to the beauty underneath. To the splendor
And the splendor.
and the glory. To the truth of the beauty underneath. You'll accept it.
Yes.
You'll embrace it.
Yes.
Let me show you the beauty underneath. To the splendor and the glory. To the truth of the beauty underneath. You'll accept it.
Yes.
You'll embrace it.
Yes.
Let me show you the beauty underneath.
Subscribe, like, follow.